Clerk, Chairperson, can you continue?
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. I rise to table before this August Assembly the report of the Select Committee on Education, Training, and ICT for consideration and adoption by plenary. The report pertains to the scrutiny of the Cyber Crime Bill 2024, which was duly referred to the committee following its first reading on the 4th of March 2024 and second reading on the 18th of March. Honorable Speaker, in executing its mandate, the committee held extensive consultations with key stakeholders, including the relevant ministries, security agencies, civil society, and technical experts. In total, we met with 31 witnesses and we received 7 position papers with varying opinions. Methodology. During the review of the bill, the committee adopted face-to-face consultations, a review of position papers, a review of treaties and conventions, a review of other acts of parliament with similar laws like in Zambia and Kenya, and the validation meeting with the committee members. I'm on page 5. Now, on the subtitle, the committee recommends the subtitle to change now to be read as Cybercrime Act 2025. Number 2, on interpretation. I'm on page 5. Now, on interpretation, the committee recommends that the deletion of A and B under authorized persons. If you look at authorized person on the interpretation, it has A and B. So we recommend A and B to be deleted because it's not necessary. Then we go to child pornography. The committee recommends the following to be added to the child pornography definition, which is whether material, real or simulated, and now we read as material or data, whether real or simulated. Then interference, the committee recommends B to be deleted because B is already added on both A and C, so B is not necessary. Then we go to publish. For publish, the committee recommends that under sub C, the letter Y be removed from the spelling of photograph. So it should be photograph and not photograph. Now on number 3, which is application, the committee proposes that this clause stands part of the bill without amendment. Then we go to number 4, which is territorial application of this act. The committee recommends that this clause stands part of the bill. Now we go to part 2, offenses. The first one is child pornography. The committee recommends that the words show and child be added on 5(1)(c) and to now be read as downloads, distributes, transmits, disseminates, circulates, etc. We also recommend sub F as it is incorporated into C, that is to delete F. We also want to add the word and to 5(1). We also recommend on 5(2), the committee recommends that replacing the word seen to be replaced with known. Then I go to number 6 on page 7, which is computer-related offenses. The committee recommends the following. The committee recommends the deletion of sub A and C on the 6 and replace with create, publish, or transmit. And on page 8, we want to add new 3 to read as create and spread false content depicting by any way commits an offense and is liable on conviction to a fine of not less than 200,000 or imprisonment. This is talking about deepfakes. Then on number 7, which is cyberbullying, the committee recommends that the numbering to be read as sub 1, 2, and 3. There's a problem with the numbering. And number 8, unlawful acquisition, usage, and distribution of sexually explicit content, the committee recommends that E be added on 8.3 to read as share instead of share. Number 9, unauthorized access to computer data, the committee recommends the clause to be stand without any amendment. On number 10, the committee recommends that renumbering also be done. And on number 11, the committee recommends that the clause stands part of the bill. Then I go to 12. The committee recommends that under subclause 12(8)(b) to be amended in case of body corporate to a fine of not less than $3 million. Then we go to number 13, unlawful supply of possession of computer data. The committee recommends that under clause 13, the words and phrases below be included, receives and possess, that is offers to supply. On number 14, computer-related extortion, fraud, and forgery, the committee recommends the word extortion be removed because it has not been used in this clause. On number 15 clause, criminality of a body corporate, the committee recommends the clause stands part of the bill. Then I go to part 3, which is powers, search and seizures and store computer data. The committee recommends this clause to stand part of the bill. On number 17, the committee recommends on subclause 5A to delete the first period of the warrant and change it 1 month to 30 days to be more consistent throughout the bill. Now on page 10, that on subclause 9, the fine be increased from 3 million, now we read as a service provider which fails to comply with an order on the warrant commits an offense and is liable on conviction to a fine of not less than $3 million or imprisonment for not less than. So you're going to see that most of the fines actually, the committee recommends for the fines to be increased. And if you go all the way to 20, you will see similar things. Then I go to page 11. If you go to page 11, number 21, which is production order, the committee recommends the following. The committee recommends that in subclause 2A, subsection C be added and to read as grant access to the password to the investigation. Now I go to part 4, international cooperation. Number 22, 23, 24, we don't recommend any changes, so they stand alone. On number 25, the committee recommends that on subclause 2, the minister be changed to the Attorney General and Minister of Justice instead of the Minister of Digital Economy. Number 26, clause 26, 27, there are no changes. The committee recommends to maintain them as is. On number clause 28, which is mutual legal assistance regarding assistance stored computer data, the committee recommends that subclause 2K be rewarded to read as include an agreement for the payment of the damages or cost fulfilling the request. On clause 29, the committee recommends for it to stand as is. On clause 30, the committee recommends that the word the be put before powers. On number 31 and number 32, the committee recommends that, and number 33, the committee recommends no change as they would like to stand alone. Finally, Honorable Speaker, the committee recommends additional offenses which were not part of the bill. And the first one is about child grooming, which means the process, actions, or behavior used to establish an emotional connection with a child under the age of consent for the purpose of facilitating or encouraging sexual conduct. Or the committee recommended that one on number 1. That's on page 13. The second offense the committee recommends is child solicitation, which means persuading, luring, or attempting to persuade, to lure a child into sexual activity through the use of computer or computer systems. Now, the third offense the committee recommends is online human trafficking. I know that one is very familiar. Then we go to number 4, the fourth recommendation, which is prohibition of the recording of private conversation without prior notice. The committee recommends that a person commits an offense if that person using a computer system records a private conversation without notifying the parties to the conversation. They commit a crime. Number 5, which is cyber extortion. So it's just extortion, but now you're using computer system to do extortion. That's number 5 on page 14. Now, in conclusion, Honorable Speaker, the committee is of the view that it is satisfied that the Cybercrime Bill 2024 represents a timely and crucial legislative intervention in addressing the evolving threats posed by cyber-related offenses in the Gambia. The committee is further convinced that the bill, once enacted with the proposed amendments, will provide law enforcement agencies and the judiciary with enhanced legal tools to investigate, prosecute, and prevent cyber offenses while safeguarding individual rights and ensuring due process. Accordingly, the Select Committee recommends that Cybercrime Bill 2024, as amended, be adopted by Honorable Assembly for enactment into law. The committee reaffirms its commitment to supporting legislation that strengthens the rule of law, protects digital rights of Gambians, and promotes a secure, inclusive digital economy. I beg to move.
Any seconder? Member Hofonye Kansala, you have the floor.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I beg to second the motion and also want to participate in the debate. Honorable Speaker, we believe that this is a very important bill. The bill, if it is passed, will enhance the economic benefit in where security will be paramount in terms of ensuring data, privacy, and also security. And again also, the bill in its totality will also combat what we call combating crimes. Not only that, also, the bill will also serve as a tool that will also protect individuals, not only that, and also organizations. So I believe that it is of good to all of us as members to waste no time, accept, we work on facilitating and see it done. And therefore, if this bill is passed, it will regulate online activities. But if you look at us now as a country, it's very difficult for us to regulate issues that are happening online. But if it is passed, it will also help in facilitating that. And again also, it will facilitate internal, it will facilitate internal cooperation, where if any country which is very prone and doesn't have data security and cyber crimes issues will also affect. And it's crucial as it provides a legal framework in which the country will be in the right footing. On that note, I hereby beg honorable members, let's not even debate. Can we pass this report as it is? I am seeking, Honorable Speaker, as you are not hearing me. Yes, I said as I want to suggest from all honorable members, this is a report that has no crucial difficulties. I agree, and I want all members, we don't need to debate, let's pass it as it is. For the acceptance of all members, as we all know, this is a crucial bill. On that note, I thank you all. I want to move a motion. With your permission, Honorable Speaker. Without debate, we pass it as it is. Hence, we all know the crucial and the importance of this report. And it's done efficiently, very well and straightforward. And I also thank the members. And again, also the clerks. So I hereby move a motion without no debate, if it is accepted to all members. Thank you very much.
Member for Talending Kunjang.
I rise to second the motion.
Honorable members, there are two motions, so I will first move the motion for this assembly to consider the report, and then I will come on to, and I'll also put a question for the last motion to adjourn the debate. And I'll put on the first question. It has been moved and seconded that this honorable assembly do consider the report of the Select Committee on Education, ICT and Training on the Cybercrime Bill 2023. Those in favor, please say aye. Those not in favor, please say no. The ayes have it. Honorable members, I will also put the question for the motion that the member for Fonyi Councillor moved, that's to adopt the report without debate. Those in favor, now I'll put the question. It has been moved and seconded that this assembly adopt the report of the Select Committee on Education, ICT and Training on the Cybercrime Bill 2023 without debate. Those in favor, please say aye. Those not in favor, please say no. The ayes have it. Clerk, we may proceed.
Thank you. Laying of papers and reports continues. Report of the Select Committee on Agriculture and Rural Development. Follow-up tour on the implementation of the resolutions passed by the National Assembly on the matter of the SECOs by the chairperson of the committee.
Chair. Thank you. Clerk, I understand that the chairperson is not here. So, Clerk, can we proceed? We may put it away. Clerk, let's proceed to the next one.
Thank you. Laying of papers and reports. A report of the Select Committee on ICT and Training on the Data Protection and Privacy Bill 2024 by the chairperson of the committee.
Chairperson.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. I rise to move for the adoption of the report of the Committee on Education, Training and ICT on the Bill on Data Protection and Privacy that was referred to the committee some time back. The Select Committee on Training ICT registered its appreciation to the Office of the Clerk of the National Assembly for providing logistics and support that gave their best to enable the committee to complete their work. The committee is also grateful to the Ministry of Higher Education, Research, Science and Technology, and the representative from the Ministry of Justice and all other ministries that were consulted during the course of this bill. Now, I'll just go straight to the part one, which is preliminary. So the committee, the bill may be cited as the Personal Data Protection and Privacy Bill. We recommend that to change to 2025. Number two, I'm on page 7. You know, it's doing summary, so I'm on page 7 now. So clause 2, interpretation. The committee recommends that clause 2 stands part of the bill with the following amendment, the data subjects. We are asking that the living to be changed to natural and personal data also any to be removed from the definition. I'm on page 8. On clause 3, application. The committee recommends that clause 3 stands part of the bill without amendment. Now on clause 4, which is principles relating to the processing of personal data, the committee recommends that clause 4 stands part of the bill with the following amendment. On subclause 4.3b, we recommend B be removed as it is already covered in A. And in subclause 4.8 and 4.10, you see on the report we've indicated some changes on that. Then I go to clause 5 on page 8. The committee recommends that clause 5 stands part of the bill without any amendment. And on subclause 6 also, we recommend some amendment on the subclause 1H, where we say legal claims to be changed to legal services. We go to clause 7. The committee recommends that clause 7 stands part of the bill, and we have amendment on sub 3 to change the language the child can understand, and now we read as they easily understand. On clause 8, which is condition for consent, the committee recommends clause 8 stand part of the bill without any amendment. On part 3, which is the rights of data subjects, we recommend subclause 6 is written twice and wants to be deleted. And on clause 10, the committee recommends that the clause stands part of the bill without amendments. On clause 11, we recommend some amendment, plain language to be changed to the language he or she understands. And on clause 12 to 15, the committee recommends that clause 12 to 15 stand part of the bill without any amendments. On part 4, offenses, the committee recommends that subclause 1A stands part of the bill with the following amendment, where we are saying 1A to be read as, in case of an individual, a fine not less than $500,000 is imprisonment for a term not exceeding 3 years or both. And if you look at subclause 17 also, there's an amendment on 1A and 1B. The clause to be cited as selling of personal data. Now, on subclause A, to be read as, in case of an individual also, we decided to increase the fine. And when you go to subclause B also, the case of a body corporate to a fine not less than $1 million is, or 5% of their gross income, whichever is greater. On page 12. Recommendation. Now on clause 18, we made a recommendation on 18.2A and B also to be stand part of the bill with the 2 amendments. A, in case of individual also is about the fine, and it also in case of a body corporate also is also about the fine. On clause 19, we recommend 1A, 91A and 1B, some changes also relating to fines and imprisonment. Then I go to 20. On clause 20 also, we have changes on the 2A and 2B also, and it's all related to fines that we intend to increase as a recommendation. We go to clause 21. When you go to clause 21 also, it's also related to fines that we are recommending for them to be increased, and also as well as the increment, like imprisonment terms. Clause 22, false statement made in response to a notice requesting information. The committee recommends that 22.2A and B stand part of the bill, but we also recommend an amendment dealing with fines and also imprisonment. On clause 23, destruction of falsification of information requested by the commission. We are making a recommendation that 23A and B also stand part of the bill with amendments relating to the fine and also relating to the increment on imprisonment as well. Clause 24, which is criminal liability of a body corporate, same thing. We want it to be stand part of the bill without any amendment. Then we go to part 5. That is clause 25, transparency. The committee recommends that clause 25 stand part of the bill and also with the following amendments. 1, we are recommending that unlawful to be added to the clause. On number 26, the committee recommends the clause 26 all the way to 35 stand part of the bill without any amendments. Then clause 36, exceptions. The committee recommends that clause 36(1) stand part of the bill with the following amendments, like subclause E be deleted, and clarity is needed on subclause H from the minister. Part 7, transborder flow of data. The committee recommends renumbering of the parts. Part 6 in the bill should be part 7, and part 7 in the bill should be part 8. Clause 37 to 38, the committee recommends them to be part of the bill without any amendments. Then we go to 39. On clause 39, the committee recommends that the ministry gives clarity to this clause, as the commission under the 8A is already established. So they need to tell us exactly what they want to do, whether to increase the number of commissioners or exactly what. So we're making a recommendation for them to tell us exactly what they want to do here. Now on clause 40, the committee make a recommendation on 41G, 41H, and 41S. And again, we are saying to change the word court to ministry, and 41H, change the phrase president and the National Assembly, and on 41S, delete the similar indicators. On clause 41, the committee recommends that clause 41 stands of the bill with the amendments below to amend the subclause to reflect the use of law enforcement and obtaining court order. On clause 42, the committee recommends that subclause D should be reviewed. More clarity is needed from the ministry. That is the Ministry of Information. On clause 43, the committee recommends that clause 43 stand part of the bill as is. And on part 8, clause 44, funds of the commission. The committee recommends that subclause 1 and 2 should be deleted to indicate that the funds of the ATI commission will suffice. On clause 45, regulations. The committee recommends that clause 45 stands part of the bill. I beg to move. Abandon.
Any seconder, the member for Fonye Kansala.
Yes, thank you, Honorable Speaker. I hereby move second the motion on the bill entitled Data Protection Bill. Honorable Speaker, we believe standardization of ICT in this global village won't work effectively without data protection. And in line of the data summary that I want to bless the report, ranging from protection against data breaches. When a bill of such is in place, it will now erase some of those issues that a country will slowly move. Again, also individual control over personal data. This is one thing that is also will be very instrumental so far when this bill is also passed. Building trust and confidence, where each and every one of us will be able to handle, and data will be flowing in your own capacity without any hindrance or so. Also, it will also protect vulnerability of groups. We all know how important data is, but when a bill of such is in place, all those things will also be history. In safeguarding and also personal information, this is also a core and a center stage of that. Again, also, it will also support innovations and economic into a country. So these are all key important things that we've went through over vigorous engagement that we had. A lot of stakeholders were involved. And in line, this is a report that is done perfectly. And I also thank the General Committee members who were very instrumental in the work, though it was a very difficult task for us, for all of us in this past committee engagement. We had a lot of reports, but thank God they are here. And also thank our various clerks for a job well done. Honorable Speaker, with the indulgence of this parliament, the parliament of ours, my people and my fellow parliamentarians, I hereby move a motion without no debate in light of this important bill. Honorable Speaker, I hereby move a motion without no debate, inshallah. Thank you very much.
Any seconder? Willis.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. I rise to second the motion.
Honorable members, thank you. It has been moved and seconded that this Honorable Assembly do consider the report of the Select Committee on Education, ICT and Training on Data Protection and Privacy Bill 2024. Those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Those not in favor, please say no. The ayes have it. Honorable members, I will take the second question. It is moved and seconded that this Assembly adopt the report of the ICT and Education Training Select Committee on Data Protection and Privacy Bill 2024 without debate. Those in favor, please say aye. Those not in favor, please say no. The ayes have it. Clerk, we may proceed. Honorable members, let me now put the question for us to adopt the report. Be it resolved that this Honorable Assembly do adopt the report of the Select Committee on Education, ICT and Training on the Data Protection and Privacy Bill 2024. Those in favor, please say aye. Those not in favor, please say no. The ayes have it. Clerk, we may proceed.
Thank you. Laying of papers and reports. Report of the Select Committee on Agriculture and Rural Development. Follow-up tour on the implementation of the resolutions passed by the National Assembly on the matter of the SECOs by the Vice Chairperson of the committee.
Honorable Chair, Honorable Speaker.
Chairperson?
Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker.
Now, hold on. I'll come to you. Clerk, is agriculture? Where is the chairperson? Clerk, come here. We are proceeding. We are continuing. We are not going back. No, if we are to come to that one, to agriculture, I have to instruct the clerk to do that. For this one, I have not done that. We are continuing. Clerk should not have done that.
Laying of papers and reports. Report of the Select Committee on Health, Refugees, Disaster and Humanitarian Relief. Countrywide tour to some health facilities and refugee settlements. 17 to 23rd February 2025 by the chairperson of the
Honorable Chairperson.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker, and thank you very much, Honorable Members. Honorable Speaker and Honorable Members, I rise to move that the report of the Select Committee on Disaster, Health, Refugees and Humanitarian Relief be adopted. Honorable Speaker, before me I have an executive summary ably prepared by our able secretaries that I will read, then members can go into the report by themselves. On the preamble side, as you know, the committee is established by Section 102, 109 of the 1997 Constitution, and we embark on a tour from the 17th to 29th February. And the primary objective of this tour was to assess the state of health infrastructure, evaluate service delivery performance, and review the humanitarian conditions of refugee population within the country. Thorough direct engagement with facility managers, that is officers in charge, refugee leaders, local authorities, and technical personnel. The committee gathered first-hand information to inform its finding, observation, and subsequent recommendations. Progress in the health sector. The oversight visit confirmed that the government of the Gambia, in partnership with development stakeholders such as the World Bank, African Development Bank, and through domestic funding mechanisms like the Government Local Fund, GLF, has made commendable strides in expanding healthcare access nationwide. This includes the construction of 5 new health centers located in Kisimajau, that is in Jokadu, Salikenye, which is in Badibu Central. You have Kiangjari in Kiang West, Mankamankunda in Jimara, and Tumanna Health Centers in the Tumanna district, all designed to improve access to maternal and child health, outpatient service, emergency care, and preventive health interventions. Simultaneously, Honorable Speaker, significant investments are underway in the rehabilitation and upgrading of major health facilities such as Farafenni General Hospital, Buyam General Hospital, Kaur Health Center, Yerobawal Health Center, and others, which include Chairman Minor Health Center. And others, these projects aim to modernize infrastructure, improve medical equipment, and enhance working environment for healthcare personnel, particularly in underserved rural communities. Honorable Speaker, the committee further observed that establishment of critical national level facilities, including National Emergency Treatment Center in Farato and the West Treatment Center, which are designed to enhance emergency response capabilities, improve waste management, and strengthen public health resilience in line with global standards. On humanitarian and refugee response, Honorable Speaker, the Gambia continues to play a pivotal role by hosting substantial number of refugees, mainly from Casamance region of Senegal. Refugee communities located in Boyam, Sibanor, and Bullock have benefited from government interventions and, of course, support from Gambia Commission for Refugees, that is GCR. The United Nations High Commission for Refugees, UNHCR, and other humanitarian actors also have supported them. This effort focuses on providing healthcare, education, legal assistance, and livelihood support to refugees, thereby promoting their integration and dignity within the host communities. Despite these efforts, the committee noted pressing challenges relating to the lack of formal documentation for refugees, limited access to farmland for subsistence farming, and reduced financial support for education and healthcare due to scaling down of external donor funding. These gaps continue to undermine the long-term welfare, security, and self-reliance of the refugee population. Honorable Speaker, in summary, the key observations and, of course, some findings that the committee have noted. The oversight revealed the following systematic challenges affecting both the health and refugee sectors. One, unreliable utilities. Persistent power outage and water shortages severely constrain healthcare deliveries in multiple facilities, exacerbated by faulty solar system, inadequate generators, and poor network connectivity. Two, critical shortage of essential medicines. Most facilities reported frequent stockouts of essential drugs, which compromise the quality of care and patient outcome. Three, severe human resource deficits. Staffing levels are critically low, with acute shortage of midwives, nurses, laboratory technicians, and other skilled health professionals. The lack of adequate staff quarters further compound this challenge, especially in rural postings. Honorable Speaker, 4, inadequate equipment and transport. Several facilities lack functioning ambulances, diagnostic equipment, and medical supplies necessary for effective service delivery and emergency response. Honorable Speaker, again, on 5, infrastructure gap, poor road conditions hinder access to health centers, especially during emergencies and adverse weather conditions. Delays in construction and rehabilitation projects were also noted, largely due to supply chain disruption and congestion at national ports. On refugees, Honorable Speaker, refugee protection challenges. Refugees remain without formal documentation, limiting their ability to access essential service and legal protection. Inadequate land allocation for agriculture and reduced support for education and healthcare were also highlighted as major concerns. Waste management limitations. Although the Waste Treatment Center represents a major step forward, operational constraints such as fuel supplies, limited collection vehicles, and logistical challenges continue to hamper its efficiency. Now, Honorable Speaker, moving on to key recommendations. As I said, I am summarizing. The key recommendations as far as the committee have also made available. Given these findings, the committee put forward the following priority recommendations for urgent consideration and implementation. 1. Utilities and infrastructure. Provide reliable and sustainable electricity solution for all health facilities, including proper wiring, solar energy system, and functional generators. Construct borehole at health facilities to ensure continuous and safe water supply. Improve and rehabilitate road networks leading to health centers and refugee clusters. to facilitate timely access, especially during emergencies. 2, medical supplies and equipment. Strengthen the national supply chain for essential medicines to prevent stockouts. Of course, that's why when the consideration of the medicine-related product bill was pushed to next session today, the committee, it doesn't go well with the committee because we know what we are faced with. Equip all facilities with at least one fully functional and well-equipped ambulance. Provide adequate delivery-based diagnostic equipment and essential medical tools to all facilities. On human resource development, Honorable Speaker, recruit additional healthcare personnel, including midwives, nurses, and technicians, and prioritize deployments to rural areas like Chamen Nyanija and, of course, Njau and Kauru. Construct and renovate staff quarters to provide safe and dignified accommodation for healthcare workers. Include healthcare staff in government loan schemes and welfare programs to improve motivation and retention, and this especially in hospital staff, among hospital staff rather. Waste management, number 4. Allocate sufficient resources to waste treatment center to ensure uninterrupted operation, including fuel supply and functional collection. Trucks, as we speak currently, they are supported by the World Bank, but you know that is not sustainable. We have to take it up by ourselves. Expand waste management training to facilities, staff improvement, waste segregation system at the point of generation. That is at the level of the facilities. 5, refugee welfare and protection. Expedite the issuance of formal documentation to refugees residing in the Gambia to regularize their status and improve access to essential service. Honorable Speaker, this is a major problem also. Facilitate the allocation of larger plots of land to refugees communities for agricultural use to promote food security and self-reliance. Integrate refugees into national healthcare and educational system and explore the establishment of targeted subsidies or social safety nets in collaboration with development partners. 6, project management and delivery. Improve project coordination to minimize delays in constructions and rehabilitation of health facilities. Address logistical challenges related to material importation by enhancing capacity and efficiency at the Gambia Port Authority. 5, financing and sustainability. Increase budgetary allocation for health service delivery, waste management and refugee welfare programs. Strengthen partnership with bilateral and multilateral agencies to sustain investment in healthcare infrastructure and humanitarian response. Honorable Speaker, in conclusion, the committee reaffirms that while significant gains have been achieved in expanding healthcare infrastructure and supporting refugee welfare, sustained political commitment, strategic resource mobilization, and robust oversight remain indispensable to consolidating these achievements. This effective implementation of this recommendation will not only improve the quality and accessibility of health service, but also enhance the Gambia's ability to uphold its humanitarian obligation and foster inclusive national development. Honorable Speaker, on those grounds, I beg to move once again. Thank you.
Thank you. And a second, the member for Kiang West.
Thank you so much, Honorable Speaker. I rise to second the motion, and I would also love to take part in the debate. Honorable Speaker, we are looking at a very important report, and Honorable Chair of the committee has given us a very brief explanation of the report, what is required from us. Yesterday, Minister took the podium here and responded to some of the questions which are dealt with in this report when it comes to shortage of medical personnel and poor road condition linking to medical facilities, and all these are challenges that honorable members ask questions with respect to. So today we have seen these things manifested on the report. What we would urge the committee to do is, you have established these things, and this is exactly what various National Assembly members has raised concern on as far as their questions are concerned. I think having corroborated those things now, we need to just adopt this report and make a follow-up to make sure that health centers where there is no health workers, because Minister read a paper here yesterday to say some health centers were having only one trained health worker, only one trained nurse, some 2, some 3. We need to look at that. And some of these health centers are clustered. So many communities, access these health centers. If you have only one trained nurse, and the report is telling us that, I think it's important we try to have a look at that. And as well, poor road conditions, these are some of the things we need to try to talk to Minister of Works. Let us not say it is not my constituents. If there are places in this country where accessing medical services is a problem, it should be a cry of all of us. This is why we established a committee to represent all of us. So when committee speaks, they speak on our behalf. So the committee is speaking on our behalf, and these challenges are there. So let us try to talk to the ministry to ensure that they train more nurses. Areas where there are some of the equipment problems, we try to ensure that when we come here next session, we can report that some of these problems are resolved. So this is my contribution, Honorable Speaker, and I'm appealing to all the members. Let us try to make this a task upon all of us. Health is quite expensive, but communities are better than each other. Some communities are really suffering as far as the report is concerned. Thank you so much, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you. It has been moved and seconded that this Honorable Assembly do consider the report of the Select Committee on Health, Refugees, Disaster and Humanitarian Relief contributed to some health facilities and refugees settlement 17 to 23 February 2025. Those in favor, please say aye. Those not in favor, please say no. The ayes have it. Honorable members can now Honorable members can now contribute to the bill, or if there are any motion also to the report. Yes, member for Bonny Councillor.
Yes, I think it's a quick one for me. I'm not moving a motion for this time. Before they will just hook me as a motion mover. Honorable Speaker, I think the committee have done a numerous job. For Buyam, and also I think when they visited, it's a project that is ongoing, but currently we are in the rainy season, and I think the current work as of now need urgent assistance. Because what happened is the corrugated INC that they have removed currently is making a challenge. And we are in the deep rainy season. I think yesterday I've discussed that with the minister. So he said he will visit the area to avert, because I believe if a project has starts, it has a starting and an ending date. So I think the committee also could also follow up on that regard. Honorable Speaker, in the issue of water, I wonder, major health centers or even hospitals, the like of Edward Francis Small Teaching Hospital, maintenance is a big challenge. And I think the committee in their recommendation have also talked about that. So most of these issues, I think management, hospital management are an issue. I believe also in their recommendations, what I wanted to suggest was each and every of those health centers, the chair is here, a timeline could be given. For example, issues of water, what is the water problem? And when do they want, should that problem cease? Some of them is just a mere maintenance, and I think also they've also talked about issue of a functional, at least a functional ambulance. So if you want to build a perfect health center without mobility, it's a big challenge. And sometimes also, even you go, the Honorable Chair, I think I will also remind you, some hospitals or health centers, they'll even tell you that the ambulance has no battery. A mere battery. These are challenges that you could not even blame the government. So I think institutionally, I don't know whether it's possible. We can carve a line where a punishment could be indulged to some of those health centers and staffs. A battery, problem of a battery in an ambulance, and now those management within the core of that hospital go scot-free. So on that note, I think they did a great job. But I think also what my honorable member of Kian said, a follow-up could be made, a follow-up. We are saying zero tolerance to failure of health centers, zero tolerance to failures of hospitals, especially in Ndemban. Ndemban is a dead row. So committee take note and make follow-up. So I therefore end my.
Thank you.
Motion. Thank you very much.
Thank you. I now invite the member for Fonyi, who is Uli is.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. I thank the committee very well for the effort that they have done. They went as far as the end of the country, that's Wuli, for the Kunda Health Center, which is very commendable. Honorable Speaker, in the report, Tumana is now identified to have this health center. The former MP from Tumana has clamored for that for the last 5 years, but now it is considered. Tumana is a very big constituency, and there is no health center or government health center, as I know. So this is very commendable. We thank them for that. Honorable Speaker, unreliable utilities in health centers is a very big challenge, which we need to address now. I could remember in the 5th Assembly, we passed a bill here. I think it's, we ratified an agreement where all the health centers would have been solarized. And even some schools were part of it, I could remember. But we don't know what happened to it. Maybe it's still in the pipeline, but that would have been followed up to see that if it is still ongoing, then that is a good thing that will deal with these areas. Honorable Speaker, I think the issues identified in Forekunda are actually the issues there. But one issue that is not captured is lab for these pregnant women. I think that we need to add that to the challenges there. On that note, Honorable Speaker, I just thank you and thank the committee very well for.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I will now invite the member for Joshua.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. And then thank you very much to the committee chair and his team for a job well done. For me, I have an issue here before I give my own take on the report. Honorable Speaker, we always go out for oversights, spend resources, come back here and spend time to report. But when we are reporting, who are we reporting to? Where are our guys? Nobody is here. And these are very important things. These are very key reports that they need to go through and then see how they can come out and reply to us. What are they going to reply to us? These things are very, very, this is the second time it is happening. For me, Speaker, I think I'm not going further. Let me just stop here.
Thank you very much. The member for Upper Salem, you have the floor.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. I would like to take this opportunity to thank the committee for a wonderful job, for in fact making our job much easier, because the issues they've highlighted actually are general issues. I do not want to preempt the resolution of the FPAC when we deal with the hospitals in the country, but one of the issues you realize is we have issues of administration. Hospitals must be managed by administrators, not technicians. These are fundamentally different. A doctor, yes, you may have some administrative skills, but administration itself is a special skill, and we have to ensure the councils and also the hospitals must be managed by administrators. Because like he said, just a mere battery, I mean, an ambulance is not working. The next minute, they say government this. I think this is something we really need to take a look at. Now, Honorable Speaker, I think one key area we need to take a look at, that is the scholarship we are giving out to our students, particularly the nurses and doctors. I think we need to prioritize. If the Gambia is having issues with doctors and nurses, I think we really need to look at the scholarship that we issue out. Can we find a way where the scholarship that we actually give out, we have a dedicated amount or so where we train our own nurses, where they don't have to pay any school fees? Now, even if you have to, get a certain number of years to work with the government, I think it's become very necessary. Because health as we speak right now, it's becoming a real issue in this country, particularly on non-communicable diseases. So I think it's important that we ensure we provide the training for these nurses at no cost or at a very low cost. I'll support that idea. But above all, Honorable Speaker, I think as a Parliament or as a Committee of Health, there are certain basic amenities that must be present in every health post, minor health center or major health center. Things dealing with water, things dealing with generator or ambulances, these are basic things that they need to be present in all of these places. So I hope this report will be sent to the Minister of Health so that they can update the Parliament on the plans that they have to ensure that we bring this thing to closure. Because I can't find like a hospital where you go, there's no water or there's no electricity. We really need to take a look at those things and ensure the Ministry of Health provide us with a clear path where they will resolve all these issues. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Honorable Member. I now give the floor to the member for Basse.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. First, I have to thank the committee for going around the country and also doing their fact-finding. Also, thank the secretaries and the clerks who accompany them, because without their diligent records, some of the vital information would not be captured. Now, looking at the report, I just want to align myself with Honorable Mbow on administration. Most of these centers or hospitals lack the administrative officers. And there was a time, even in Basse, I even proposed to the doctor, I said you should have an administrator who will be appraising most of these nurses and support staff at the hospital, because the way and manner they were operating was uncalled for. At times they go to work at any time they feel like, leave office at any time they feel like. At times even you find them sitting down when they have a lot of job to do with their mobiles. So with administration they can initiate so many things that will at least control them and put them on track. That is monthly appraisals, at least to monitor their conducts. Thank you, Honorable Mbow, for also highlighting that.
Thank you, Honorable Member.
The other one is for doctors. I think it's also important to voice it out. I'm using Basse as an example. Looking at Basse as the main health center for the entire URR, you only have one doctor. And there was a time even they called me here, that one doctor they even moved him to Bantang. I said, oh, my dead body, he cannot move. When they called me, I called the minister, I said, we cannot take that risk. The only doctor in Basse, you move into Bantang, what if there's an issue? And I have to stand by that, and that doctor remains where he is. So for one doctor to be in a hospital is a big risk. I think we need to look at those things. For drugs also is a necessity, because at times you go there, they give you a lot of prescriptions. At times, some of these pharmacies, they work with the nurses at the hospitals. They are agents undercover. When you go there, they prescribe and even direct to where you're supposed to go and buy drugs. At least if they prescribe, they'll tell you go and get it anywhere, but they will direct you where you should go and buy. So it means there's something connected to it. So which we should look at. Electricity is a necessity, because without electricity, some of the facilities or equipment within the hospitals will not function. So I think it's important, especially when it comes to Tumanna, the late Asan Musa Kamara Health Center. It's without electricity, and it's important for it to have electricity. So Honorable Tumanna, that call before about the electricity is important. They should have electricity by now. Security also is paramount, because for Basse at times the doctors they complain when some patient come with their people. At times they don't give them the opportunity or the chance even to do some their analysis. So they are disturbed, especially when you come with your mother or your uncles. They went right inside where they normally diagnose them. So at times they are harassed or they are disturbed. So security is important in these hospitals, so that at least they will help the doctors to execute their job very well. For the maternity facilities, I think this one also is an issue which the hospital management should look at, because there are certain equipments which are lacking in the maternity centers in some of the regions. And I think it should be looked at, because it is very critical looking at the analysis and the records of the maternity childbirth. So for that being the case, I have to thank the committee for doing that wonderful job and presenting to the plenary. So I'm now appealing to members to also adopt this report and thank the entire committee. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Member for Sabah Sanjal. You have the floor.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. I also wish to thank the committee for coming up with some of the general recommendations, even though they haven't visited any of the health centers in Sabah Sanjal, because we have 2, and most of them have some issues. But I have not seen them address that. It's like the committee members has prioritized visiting health centers in their areas and jumping orders, which is not fair. Honorable Speaker, yes, because I have seen that the chair have visited Nyanija and almost all the health centers in Nyanija.
Very unfair.
And they jump Sabah Sanjal. They have also visited your area, yeah? Upper Salom. It's like they Salom-nize and Nyanija-nize everything. So, Honorable Speaker, to be honest, I'm not very much happy with that. But in one of their recommendations where they said they should construct and renovate staff quarters to provide adequate and dignified accommodation for healthcare workers, I think this is a very key recommendation, and that needs to be put into consideration. If it needs or requires budgetary increment, we should try to do it. Because I can remember the staff in Ngien Sanjal Health Center have to even reach out to me as a member of parliament for me to buy them mattresses. And I don't think that is my responsibility as a member of parliament. So it should be something that, you know, we should be considering in the budget or whatsoever, so that we can take care of their issues. It's very important. Honorable Speaker, also, if you look at their report, I think it's very important we look at the issue of refugees. It's also very key. Back in the days, I can remember in Bambali, maybe somebody who knows that area, the member for Central Body who knows, we have an area where we have a refugee camp there, and we have the buildings, the structures are still there, but they are left open now. Nobody is using them. So at least if they are complaining that refugees are not, accommodated well, they could come, we can welcome them there, they can come and renovate that area and then have them accommodated there, because their structures are still good enough. You just need to renovate them, adjust them. At the end of the day, you will have, a very good camp for them. Because now that none of them are there, because the reasons why they are not there is because most of them have now socialized with the people of Sabah Sanjal and the Gambia at large. Some got married, some have settled, in other areas. Gambia being a very peaceful country, we thank God for that. But at least that camp is still there. You can come over and then renovate it and then make a very good use of it. If you go to the 2 health centers that I have just mentioned, which is Sarakunda and Ngien Sanja, you realize that the one in Ngien, we have what you call a lab there. But the lab, the AC is not working. So, and there are certain medical equipments or medicines that you need, when you need to store them, you need to store them in a very cool area. So, and if the AC is not working, these are some of the challenges that those working at the lab are also facing. And the issue of fuel, most of the time they have to travel because you have catchment villages within the area. They have to go and then see when they are doing these nurses and the like, they need some fuel, and sometimes they are faced with challenges of fuel because the fuel that is allocated to them is not enough. But notwithstanding, we will thank the government because at least this year they have allocated us 2 brand new ambulances. So we must thank them, definitely. But then there are challenges. We will thank the government, not the committee, because the committee, they haven't visited us to know our challenges. But we will thank the government At least they have given us 2 brand new ambulances, one allocated to to Sarakunda and the other one to Mgen Sanjal Health Center. But definitely the structure, if you look at the ceilings of the said buildings, they are dilapidated, and I would have loved that the committee at least visited them so that they can address them, and then we see how best we can move, we can increase maybe the budget to make sure that we take care of that. But just to go and solemnize and Nyanija nice the report, I'm not happy with them. Thank you.
Thank you very much. There's a point of order? Yes, member for Upper Salum.
He's imputing improper motives. There is nothing cynical between Nyanija and Upper Salum. You know that, as a member from Nyanija. So the member must withdraw, he must withdraw that. You have to withdraw. Yes, let him withdraw.
Honorable member for Upper Salum, order sustained. And in fact, member for Upper Salum, the member for Sabah Sanjal, I think on behalf of the people of Sabah Sanjal, he should buy them an AC, an air conditioner. It's about 12,000, 13,000. You should buy it for them. Thank you very much, honorable member for Sabah Sanjal. I now invite the member for Talinding Kunja.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. First and foremost, I would like to thank the chairman of the committee for ably presenting the report. Previous speakers were saying, but before I move on, Honorable Member for Sabah Sanjal, if you read the caption, it is saying health project, country-wide tour to selected health project sites and refugee clusters. So I don't know whether your health facility is a current project going on in terms of rehabilitation, new constructions, or whatever. If there is, then maybe you may be right. But if you don't have any activity, yes. So, but then you must also understand that the committee cannot go to everywhere.
Minority, sorry, please. There is, I'm not sure. Minority, the member of Serekunda. Order, honorable members, order. Honorable members, order. Honorable member for Brikama North and minority leader. Use your mic now. You know, minority leader, because of the noise down, so
what I wanted to say is that to move the motion to complete the business.
No, it's not on your side.
Can we speed up? Otherwise, we'll be trapped, we'll not finish.
Honorable members, the minority leader and member for Brikama North wanted to order. Honorable members, order, please. The minority leader want to move a motion for us to sit beyond 6 o'clock to finish business on the other paper today. Honorable members, you know, honorable minority leader, about 3 days ago or so, one of the members wanted to move a motion. Order, honorable members, order. One of the members wanted to move a motion, then someone rose to a point of order, referring us to a particular clause of the standing order, which state that not later than 30 minutes before close of time. So it was around the same time. So we were barred by the standing orders, unless if you want to suspend that provision. You need a notification. And that one you need a notice for that.
No, yes. I'm just appealing we fast track so that he can lay it. But
Member for Talending, please continue. Member for Talinding, continue.
Yes, thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, if the remaining time can accommodate for that exercise, we can just as well.
Can only accommodate if members minimize their contribution. Because this is their report, their well-round, as you know, project.
Because we have just 20 minutes to go. But I know the resolutions are very important because they are based on a report. And FPAC should write, National Assembly to write to councils to provide those things within 30 days or so. I think they are should be based on this resolution. So if they are not passed now, during this session, it means it has to wait until. So yes, so for me, let me withdraw. The chair can contribute, yes.
Then if members want to stop, if they want to adopt the report, like. Oh, okay. But there is a member for Central Badibu is on the floor also. Have you withdrawn Central Badibu? Member for Central Badibu?
Thank you, give me the floor. The committee leader and the team, I thank you very much for visiting Salikene. So there are 3 things in the report that we need to work on: human resource, ambulances, drugs, and the infrastructure. Thank you.
Thank you. Can I now call the mover as the chair of the Health, Disaster and Humanitarian Relief.
Honorable Speaker, thank you very much. I think I don't need to be belabored on this because the summary is very clear and all the issues highlighted by the various honorable members are well noted. And then I just want to remind honorable members that Standing Order 100 is there and we will do the needful and make sure all the necessary things are done. Thank you so much.
Thank you, honorable member, and thank you to all members of the committee and those who have contributed. Be it resolved that this honorable assembly do adopt the report of the Select Committee on Health, Refugees, Disaster and Humanitarian Relief countrywide to some health facilities and refugee settlement 17 to 23rd September 2025. Those in favor, please say aye. Those not in favor, please say no. The ayes have it. Clerk, we may proceed.
Thank you. Laying of papers and reports. A resolution of the FPAC on the 2020 accounts of the government of the Gambia and other public institutions by the chairperson of the committee.
Chair.
Thank you very much. Honorable members, due to time constraint, the preamble, you can go through it. Now, therefore, the National Assembly of the Republic of the Gambia hereby resolves as follows. And for the detail, I may not give, I'll just give the heading. Number 1, Auditor General's report on financial statement of the Gambia for the year ended 31st December 2020. On reconciliation and compliance, we have 2 resolutions for that. And on documentation and transparency, we have 3 resolutions, A to B. On revenue and expenditure management, we have 4 resolutions, A to D. On payroll and personnel management, we have 3 resolutions, A to C. On procurement and contract management, we have 3 resolutions, A to C. And on banking and reconciliation, 1 resolution. Debt and loan management, 3 resolutions rather. And Gambia Investment and Export Promotion Agency, GAIPA, 2 resolutions, A to B. Gambia Revenue Authority, GRA, 3 resolutions. In the Independent Electoral Commission, 2 resolutions, A to B. And National Nutrition Agency, NANA, 3 resolutions, A to C. Public Utilities Regulatory Authority, PURA, 3 resolutions. Bansan General Hospital, 6 resolutions. Bondo Maternal and Child Hospital, 7 resolutions. Biam General Hospital, 8 resolutions. Fapena General Hospital, 4 resolutions. And Kanifing General Hospital, 9 resolutions. Said Regional Eye Care Center, 5 resolutions. And Mansakongo Area Council, 8 resolutions. Kuntao Area Council, 5 resolutions, Kerwan Area Council, 11 resolutions, Carnival Municipal Council, 13 resolutions, Banjul City Council, 9 resolutions, Basse Area Council, 1 resolutions, and the general resolutions under judicial finance oversight, digitalization and revenue management, institutional reforms, governance and accountability, health sector reforms, and then enforcement and compliance, legislative and policy reforms, local governance accountability, and then the general recommendation that all recommendations made by FPAC in its report that are specified to the institutions must be implemented within the specific time frame, failure of which shall attract sanctions. All these resolutions emanated from the recommendations embedded in the reports, except but one, and that one emanates as a result of page 10 under Carnival Municipal Council that has to do with a media posting, and I read that regarding to the publication made by KMC on their Facebook Meta page, caption, clarification on Alcamba Times, publication, Parliament adopts FPAC report exposing over 7 million missing vouchers at KMC. The Assembly demands that the KMC management retracts this misleading publication within 7 days and apologize to the Assembly, failure of which sanctions will be initiated in accordance with Section 110 of the 1997 Constitution. Attached to the report is the evidence of the said media publication in Facebook for your perusal. On that note, honorable members, I beg that we adopt these resolutions.
Thank you. Any seconder? The member for Sabah Sanjal.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. I rise to second the motion and also to move that we adopt the recommendation as it is without debate.
Any seconder? Any seconder? The member for Serekunda?
Yes, Honorable Speaker, I rise to second the motion.
Honorable members, it has been moved and seconded that this Honorable Assembly. Order, honorable members, order please, order please, order. Kian West, what is your problem? No, order please. It has been moved and seconded that this Honorable Assembly do consider the resolution of the FPAC on the 2020 accounts of the government of the Gambia and other public institutions. Those in favor, please say aye. Those not in favor, please say no.
No.
The ayes have it. Honorable members, now I'm going to put a question on. It has been moved and seconded that this report be adopted without debate. Those in favor, please say aye. Those not in favor, please say no. The ayes have it. Honorable members, I'll put the last question. Honorable members, be it resolved that this Honorable Assembly do adopt the resolution of the FPAC on the 2020 accounts of the government of the Gambia and other public institutions. Those in favor, please say aye. Those not in favor, please say no. The ayes have it. Clerk, we may proceed now to agriculture.
Agriculture.
Clerk.
Laying of papers and reports. Report of the Select Committee on Agriculture and Rural Development. Follow-up tour on the implementation of the resolutions passed by the National Assembly on the matter of the SECOS by the Honorable Vice Chairperson.
Honorable Vice Chair, you have the floor.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Pursuant to the Section 102 and 109 of the 1997 Constitution of the Republic of the Gambia, the Select Committee on Agriculture and Rural Development undertook a nationwide oversight tour from 28 April to 4 May 2025. The purpose of this exercise was to monitor the implementation of resolutions previously adopted by the National Assembly regarding the operation of SECOs and the general conduct of groundnut purchasing across the country. The oversight mission covered 28 SECOs and depots across all regions and included engagements with key stakeholders such as farmers, SECO president, depot officials, cooperative leaders, and relevant government agencies. The objective of the committee's mission were fourfold. One, to assess the extent to which the National Assembly resolutions have been implemented, to evaluate the transparency and effectiveness of the electronic payment system, to determine stakeholders' awareness and understanding of the adopted resolution, and to identify ongoing challenges and areas that require improvement within the groundnut value chain. The committee observed some positive development. This included the introduction of a digital payment system through QMoney, tripartite collaboration involving National Food Security Processing and Marketing, together with Farmers Association and SECO. The effort aims at promoting financial inclusion for rural farmers. Nevertheless, several significant challenges remain unresolved. They are the use of outdated screening and weighing equipment, consistent in scale reading between SECOs and depots, persistent delays in payment to farmers, non-payment of commissions owed to SECOs, inadequate training for personnel, and a general lack of awareness of parliamentary resolution, particularly at the depot. Additionally, the committee uncovered troubling practice including fraudulent recipient failure to conduct mandatory screening of groundnuts prior to purchase and financial discrepancy, notably an uncountable sum of $9 million. Infrastructure and logistical constraints continue to hinder operations. Many SECOs and depots operate under substandard conditions. The committee noted that only one dog boat is currently available for sea transportation nationwide, while numerous households required urgent rehabilitation. Poor internet connectivity was also found to be a critical barrier affecting the efficiency of real-time electronic transactions and access to payment records. In response to these findings, the committee has proposed a set of recommendations, including upgrading and decentralizing the electronic payment system, providing modern screening and weighing equipment to all SECOs, delivering regular training for SECO staffs and cooperative actors, enforcing mandatory screening of groundnuts before purchasing, enhancing logistical capacity, especially in sea transport, recapitalization of GGC to fulfill its financial obligation, encouraging the Ministry of Agriculture to promote the use of organic fertilizer to improve soil equality and environmental. In conclusion, the committee finds that although some progress has been made, the overall implementation of National Assembly resolution remains inadequate without prompt and coordinated action from the government. GGC, the Ministry of Agriculture, and other key actors, the groundnut sector, will continue to face serious setback. Given the central role of groundnut production in the Gambia, rural economic revitalizing the sector is essential to improving farmers' livelihood and enhancing national food security. The committees therefore respectfully submit this report for the consideration of the National Assembly and urge timely adoption. Thank you so much, Honorable Speaker.
Any seconder? Member Hofoni, Councillor. Honorable Member Hofoni, Councillor.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Looking at the conditions of time, we only have 2 minutes, so I therefore second the motion, and I also do ask for us to pass the resolution without debate. Thank you.
Members, we have 6 minutes to. Yes, 6 minutes.
Honorable Speaker, the member for Central Badebo is sleeping. You have to wake him.
Oh.
No, he was sleeping.
Central Badebo. Central Badebo, please wake up. Yes. For the councillor, I didn't hear that.
Based on the time, I hereby second the motion, and I also, sorry, I thereby second the motion, as also move a motion to pass the resolution without debate. As we all know, that time is not available. Yes, thank you.
Any seconder? Sabasanjal. Sabasanjal, please.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. I wish to second the motion, but also to thank the presenter. And what she has made a very important point, which is about the decentralization of payment. Our people in Sabasanjal have. No, me, I did not second. No
Honorable
debate.
members,
our people have been traveling to Farafenye.
It has been moved and seconded that this Honorable Assembly do consider the report of the Select Committee on Agriculture and Rural Development follow up to on the implementation of the resolutions passed by the National Assembly on the matter of the SECOS. Those in favor, please say aye. Those not in favor, please say no. The ayes have it. Honorable members, it has been moved and seconded that this Assembly adopt the report of the National Assembly Select Committee on Agriculture and Rural Development follow up to on the implementation of the resolution passed by the National Assembly on the matter of the SECOS without debate. Those in favor, please say aye. Those not in favor, please say no. The ayes have it. Honorable members, be it resolved that I will now put the last question. Be it resolved that this Honorable Assembly do adopt the report of the Select Committee on Agriculture and Rural Development follow up to on the implementation of the resolution passed by the National Assembly on the matter of the SECOS. Those in favor, please say aye. Those not in favor, please say no. The ayes have it. Thank you, honorable members. Be it resolved that this Assembly stand adjourned until Friday, 11 July 2025. Those in favor, please say aye. Those not in favor, please say no. The ayes have it. This Assembly now stand adjourned until Friday, 11 July 2025 at 10 a.m. prompt for the adjournment debate